So guys, welcome to our channel once again. In today's video on JAMB Biology Exam Revision Series, we have 14 questions to answer on the topic internal structure of a flowering plant. So guys, here in this video, we are going to consider the roots. So let's start with the first question here. And we have a diagram here to work with. The question says, the structure that produces water around the plant's body is labeled A, III, B, IV, C, II, and D, I. So guys, the answer to this question is option D, and that's I. The idea is xylem. It is responsible for the conduction of water and dissolved minerals. So that's the answer to this question, and that's option D. So guys, let's look at the next question. Question number 2, it says, use the diagram below to answer the question that follows. So we have a diagram here, and then the question says, the part labeled I is the A, root hair, B, xylem, C, phloem, and D, cortex. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's the root hair. So let's look at the next question. Question number 3, it says, the structure labeled I represents the A, pericycle, B, xylem, C, phloem, and D, cortex. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's the pericycle. So let's look at the next question. Question number 4. We also have a diagram to answer the question with. So the question says, starch is usually formed in the parts labeled A, II, B, IV, C, III, and D, I. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's the II. So the II here is the cortex of a transverse section of a monocotyledonous root, and that's where starch is usually stored. So let's look at the next question, guys. The question says, the function of absorption is performed by the structure labeled A, II, B, IV, C, III, D, I. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, that's II. The function of absorption is performed by the parts labeled II, and that's the root hair. So guys, the next question is question number 6 here. We also have a diagram to answer with. So the question says, the part labeled IV is the A, root hair, B, piliferous layer, C, endodermis, and D, epidermis. So guys, the answer to this question is option B, and that's the piliferous layer. So let's consider the next question. Question number 7, it says, which of the labeled parts allows for efficient absorption of water and minerals? So guys, we have options A, II, B, IV, C, I, D, III. So guys, the answer to this question is option C, and that's I. The part that provides for effective absorption of water is the root hair. So root hairs are tiny elongated cells that are at the surface of the roots. So they are very much thin, that they have large surface area, which makes them ideal for absorbing water and minerals. So let's look at the next question. That's question number 8. It says, which of the following plant structures is primarily responsible for food storage? A, leaves, B, stems, C, flower, D, roots. So guys, the answer to this question is option D, and that's the roots. The primary plant structure responsible for food storage is the roots. The roots actually store carbohydrates and other nutrients that are produced by the leaves through photosynthesis. So these stored nutrients provide a source of energy for the plant during the periods of dormancy, where resources are limited. So let's look at the next question. That's question number 10. It says, which of the following plant structures lack waterproof cuticle? A is root, B shoot, C leaf, D stem. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's the root. The root of a plant actually lacks a waterproof cuticle. The cuticle is a waxy waterproof or water repelling layer that is found in the epidermal cells of the other plant parts and not the roots. So it helps to prevent water loss from the plants. So let's look at the next question. That's question number 11. It says, okay, here we have a diagram, and we are to use the diagram to answer this question. And it says here that the diagram is the roots of a leguminous plant. So the question here actually says the structures labeled II are A, root tubers, B, groundnut seeds, C, root nodules, and D, underground root nuts. So guys, this plant being a leguminous plant, here these structures are actually root nodules. So the answer to this question is option C. So we have a diagram here again, and we are to use the diagram to answer the question. The question here says the structure labeled I is A, chemoreceptive, B, photosensitive, C, tactile, D, radiosensitive. So guys, the answer to this question is option C, and that's tactile. This structure is a vibrissae, and it is a tactile structure. It is sensitive to touch. So let's look at the next question, guys. We are almost coming to the end of this video, and here is the question number 11. Guys, we have a diagram here, and it looks like a mushroom. But let's see the question. The question says the part labeled III in the above diagram is A, rhizoid, B, root, C, gills, D, hyphae. So guys, the answer to this question here is option D, and that's the hyphae. So let's look at the next question, and that's question number 14 and the last. It says the structure labeled II are associated with A, putrefying microbes, B, nitrogen fixing bacteria, C, organic acids, D, storage of plant nutrients. So guys, the answer to this question is option B, and that's the nitrogen fixing bacteria. This structure labeled II is actually associated with nitrogen fixing bacteria. The bacteria reside in these plant parts fixing nitrogen, and that's the correct answer to this question, guys. So this will be the end of this lesson. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're not yet a subscriber. Also, if you have any specific question regarding this video, please feel free to drop your question on the comment section below, and we'll ensure to give you a response. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're not yet a subscriber. Also, you can help us grow this channel by sharing these videos with your friends to enable us reach out to more people. Thank you for watching this video, and see you next time.